Oh hey, I'm back. I keep saying that. What have we got here? Well, look at the dust on that, man. That's because it's under the bed a while these days, this one. It's a Gibson something or other, and I had this little plate put on it, which you can't see, but don't worry. When I was in the States, I bought these little US Social Security plates and stuck it on there. Well, what are we going to look at? Well, what this is this is a 1995 Jimmy Page Les Paul, and it's in pretty good nick, so there aren't that many of these around that are in good nick. There's lots of them around that are in bad nick, or they weren't built very well, or lots of other things. But this is a bit of a quick review about the Jimmy Page Les Paul from Gibson, 1995. Great guitar. Hang around and have a look. Well, the very first thing you see, it's like a shroud with Jimmy Page's signature. I think it's Jimmy Page's signature, or it's that other signature that he sometimes has. But I'm going to peel it off and bare all. Here we go. Wow. Okay, you can see the lights. You won't see them for long. Let's move on and get the thing out of the box. Okay, so I turned the lights down a bit so we could get a bit of a better view of the Jimmy Page Les Paul from 1995. What you've got is, on this one anyway, most of them didn't have a very good top, but this one has pretty nicely figured top. I like it over here most, down here, it's very nice. Very well figured, plays superb by the way. I've had this guitar from brand new, and I wouldn't get rid of it really, unless I wasn't around. Then somebody else would get rid of it for me. What you've got is, as I said, gold everywhere on these two. You've got a really nice finish on this. You've got push-pull pots, which I'm going to talk about more about in a little while, should I say. And a usual Gibson attire. After all, it's supposed to be kicked together around, I think it's a 59. I could be wrong, but don't worry if I'm wrong. Don't matter, does it? Because you're looking at this one. It used to have a scratch plate on here, a sort of pickguard type of thing, some people call them. I took that off because it was wearing off, and stored it away. Got the usual attire on this, treble, rhythm, and in the middle. Very nice neck. Looks like rosewood. Could be anything really. Check your internet for what it actually is. The bridge, here's one that has the sort of wire in the front. If you look carefully, you'll see the wire that's sticking down in the front. This is the only Les Paul that I've got with wire like that, I think. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, I know, because when you look at the other videos, you'll email me and tell me, won't you? Okay, let's move around the guitar and have a look at all of it, and then I'll take you through the stories that and the things that have gone on with this one. It's a great guitar. Quick shot of the neck. You can see it's nice rosewood, probably rosewood. Yeah, I doubt it's Brazilian. It's probably rosewood, but it's got the bigger markers that are filled out exceedingly well, by the way, on this one. Some of the Gibson ones, you can see black all the way around the edge where they've been filling them out, but this one's absolutely perfect, actually. Most of it is. Here's a quick shot of the top of the neck. Says Les Paul Standard. Looks perfectly normal in every other way. It's cracking just a little bit around the Gibson logo, if you look careful. Very common fault. This one's been played a lot by me. It used to be my main guitar for quite a number of years. I haven't managed to wear the frets down much. I'm just looking at that. Anyway, you've got gold tuners on here. Usual thing, Les Paul model, da 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 da. Let's turn it over and have a look at the back. The back, as you might expect, mahogany. There's a few little faint scratches on there, very faint indeed. And just the odd little tiny little ding, you can just about feel there's one there, but chances of seeing it right at the side of my finger. Chances of seeing it is 0. Scratches on there are superficial. I look after them really carefully when I play them. This one I looked after a lot. Played it a lot and looked after it a lot. So, mahogany back, usual things in the insides there. I'm not going to pull them apart, it's pretty standard, except that this thing switches a lot. You can download the wiring diagram off the internet and that sort of stuff. Let's move on to the neck. Now honestly, one of the real reasons why you buy this guitar, if you pick it up and you play it, you can trust me that this neck is everything you've ever wanted in a Gibson Les Paul neck. I've played big fat ones, little thin ones that bend, but this neck, they say it's shaped after Jimmy Page's own neck, not his literally his neck. He's got a fat neck, but the neck of his #1 guitar. That's what they said at the time. And then they made 2 more releases of this guitar, I believe, one with a signature and one without, later down the road, for substantially more money. This one cost me about £2,800 in 1995. You can't get them for that now, I'll tell you. And one in this condition, you'd be paying a lot more. Some people prefer the newer ones, some don't. Some people don't like the tuners on the back of this one, and some don't. I like them, they work, they tune. That's all you need, isn't it? Anyway, compound sort of radius, built around Jimmy Page's own neck. Profile, that is. Awesome. Here the tuners, says the Grover. My stomach's groaning. Groaning Grovers. Oh, why not? They could do with a bit of polish, but I couldn't be bothered. Here's your number. It says, what does it say? It says 9346 6467, which makes it a 96 actually, not 95. Funny thing is, on the paperwork it said 95. And there you go. Same guitar, different people. No, I believe it was made in 95, 96 anyway. So those are the times. They only made them a little short while on this guitar. What else can I say about the back? Not a lot. Let's turn it back over. Well, I was talking about that scratch plate, or pickguard, some people call it. Here it is. I've got one here. This is the one I had earlier. Fits on there, fastens on there, and away you go. All very nice. And if you look at it, it's actually got the Jimmy Page logo on it. But if you also look on it, you can see that it's just starting to wear off. So many moons ago, in probably 1997, I took that off, and it was never to be refitted, because what will happen, you'll wear that off and that will devalue the product longer term. So that is in the case. Put that away. And another thing you get on the original guitar, which I think you'll again be very hard pressed to find, is one of these. Well, what's that? Well, what you did get is one of these. And I suspect there won't be many of these left around these days. It's like a thing you got with a guitar. It's fitted on the guitar when you got it, and it tells you what each one of these push-pull pots does. Treble volume, pull up for treble pickup, coil tap single coil, rhythm volume, pull up rhythm pickup, coil tap single coil. The Jimmy Page Les Paul. Get out of here. Of course it is. In series, down, out of phase, pull up, in phase. I always have that one down, funny enough. This one, rhythm tone, down, parallel, pull up, series. So, reading this, in series, down it's out, pull up for in. So you got down for parallel. So if I just pull that one up, effectively what you're going to get is more like Gary Moore's Les Paul. Or shall we say Greeny's Les Paul, I guess. Anyway, there's a combination in there that's going to do it, isn't there? That's the bit that you might struggle to get hold of. Again, it's all part of the guitar. It all matters. And that's why it's still in its case, and that's why it's staying. Okay, I want to give you the quick talk about the history of this guitar and what happened with it and why I've zoomed into this bridge. and why that's all important and critical. For those of you who have been on tonymckenziecom, I wrote the whole story about this guitar at the time, and what it used to do, and indeed it still does do, is it breaks first strings. Teach them for breakfast. Well, the problem was, from brand new, it ate them for breakfast. And I bought this guitar from a place called Musical Exchanges in England, a long time ago. Hello, Gary. I know where you are these days. I ain't spoke to you for a long time, but hello, Gary. Hello. Anyway, if he's there, he'll know this guitar, in fact, because after I had it for about a couple of months, I took it back. And this breaking of the strings here always snapped off here, right on the bridge. And remember, it's the one with the bit of metal around it. And I went back to him and he said, oh yeah, okay, no problem, because it's not old, I'll order you a brand new one. Which he did. He ordered me a nice brand new one of these. And then it came. Took it about 3 to 4 weeks to get there. And if you look at this guitar, let's assume I zoom out a little bit. Let's talk about the body a sec. If you look at this guitar, how it's all really nicely faded all the way around here. This particular model used to be really bad for being a nice thick non-translucent coat around here, and you could almost see it almost had a line there. It didn't have a line, but it could have. It was awful. And typically on these guitars you also found that the top was a really crappy top. Let me zoom back into that now, this thing here. Yeah, it was a really crappy top, and sure enough, the one that came in was exactly as I just described. And I'll tell you something else. I took it to, they had a Mark IV Mesa Boogie in the shop, which is what I used at the time. Excuse me. And I plugged this new one in. Right from the outset, it didn't look good. It looked bloody awful. This one looked great. And what I did is plug it in and played it, and it sounded absolutely crap. I don't know why it sounded crap, but it did. Well, later I found out why it sounded crap. And I dragged Gary over and I said, you're trying to give me this guitar, for that guitar. He said, well, let me plug that guitar in, which was this one. So I plugged it in, and he couldn't believe what he was hearing. He said, wow, that's a completely different guitar. And he's right, it is. And I discussed it with him quite a lot and had a few words and did all that stuff. And basically we both agreed that this guitar is not wired in the same way as a standard Les Paul Jimmy Page 1995-96. There must be some mistake in the wiring somewhere on this thing, because it is quite complex when you get down in there, in that control cavity. So he agreed. He couldn't believe how great this guitar sounded. Just right there, just straight into the amp. It was awesome, and it still is. In fact, what I agreed to do with him is to change this bridge from the brand new guitar that he got and fit this one on here and take the one off this and put it on the nice brand new guitar to send back to Gibson, which is what he actually did. Gibson aren't listening. So that's the bridge off the other one, and you know what? It didn't change a bean. It still keeps breaking here. Actually, it doesn't break as much anymore because I'm older now and I'm not as enthusiastic on playing, hard like I used to. So this doesn't break really as much as what I'd come to expect, really, from this guitar. So that's a quick story about that, and it didn't fix it. I don't really care. It's a fantastic guitar. The Jimmy Page Les Paul, it's one of my favourite guitars that I have. Let me bring that around a little bit. Oh, there you go. It's one of the, like I said, it's one of the most favourite guitars that I have at any price. This one, I mean, it's a player, but it's really, really great condition. And they're now fetching, I don't know, £4,000 or £5,000 actually on the internet for this model. So it is appreciating in value, and finding them with all the bits like this one is really tough stuff. So there you go. There's the story of the Jimmy Page Les Paul that I have. that I bought new. And if you want to hear it, by the way, if you go and look in my other videos, I think I played this on the AFD audio video, that is, on YouTube, and you know, on my channel. You'll know where the channel is because you're watching this, but just in case somebody doesn't know where my channel is, it's www.youtube.com/tonymckenziecom without the dot, and you'll be able to watch the 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 or 100 videos that I've been doing to date. Anyway, that's the Les Paul, Jimmy Page, 1995, stroke 6, we'll call it 95, and I hope you like the review. There's more soon. I'm going to put some others up there of other rare-ish guitars that you're just not going to find every day. I'm back. I always do that somehow. Anyway, there you go. That's the sort of rundown and the lowdown on the Jimmy Page Les Paul that I have. I like this one. This one's an awesome guitar. It's got its little sort of shortcomings and things like that, you know. I can feel that's a little bit off there. I can see that that's sort of peeled off under there. Doesn't matter. Plays awesome. In real life, this is really great sounding Les Paul. So one of the best Les Pauls I've ever had. I've had some Les Pauls over the years. A few years ago I bought a custom shop Les Paul called a Spotlight Special. Now it's not the original one from 1984, and if you go and look for the quote reissue of Spotlight Special, I don't think they made many of them. Some people said, oh, they made in the 20s or 30s, or less than 100. I suspect that's true as well, because they sort of came and went very quickly a few years ago. I managed to grab one from my friends in somewhere else in the world at the time. And it's a great guitar, it's a custom shop guitar, finishing the quality is great, and because it's such a rare guitar, I'm going to show you that one on a video. Oh, somebody just died. Let's get on out there. I'm going to show you that one because you might come across one of them and you might like it and you might want to buy one. You won't be buying mine, but don't worry. See you soon. Don't forget to visit tonymckenzie.com.